return money. Meghan as Robert Palmer Casey urged Sussex to repay $500 million on security lawsuits tax. Prince Harry, who was recently in a car chase, is now denied police security even after offering to pay for it. The Duke of Sussex faced rejection from the Home Office for a second time. Besides, people are still paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for Harry's lawsuit against the Interior Department, despite the fact that he claims he doesn't want taxpayers to pay to defend him. The Duke of Sussex protested a decision made in February 2020 that the government would not send armed police to guard Harry and his family by filing a complaint with the British Home Office almost 18 months ago. According to data obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, the case's defence cost the UK government over £300,000, more than $363,000. Included in this are approximately £200,000 in expenses for the legal department, £93,000 for the general counsel, and £660 for court costs. Robert Palmer Casey, a barrister for the Home Secretary, has spoken out about the fact that Sussex will have to repay that tax as compensation to the Home Office, much to Meghan Markle's chagrin. I want to make sure that the Duke increases awareness of his responsibilities for this case because I am a representative and comprehend the harms created by the lawsuit. We now need to talk about the expenditures associated with the litigation, which might total hundreds of millions of dollars. He also previously told London's Royal Courts of Justice that the Duke's offer to pay for the expert Metropolitan Police protection had rightly been dismissed, as it would set an unacceptable precedent. Robert told the court, including 3 barristers representing Harry, officers are expected to place themselves in harm's way to protect the principal, royal under protection, and in the public interest. It's different from ordinary policing, and can only be provided when the public interest requires it. It is inconsistent with those principles for a private individual to be able to pay for that security. When told Prince Harry no longer qualified for this protection, Harry offered to pay for it personally but was declined. But in a ruling, Mr. Justice Chamberlain refused the Duke's permission to bring the second challenge, rejecting it on a number of grounds. It came after Metropolitan Police chiefs told the court their officers are not guns for hire for the rich and famous, claiming that allowing Harry to pay for the protection of officers, potentially armed ones, would set an unacceptable precedent. Earlier this month, Harry's legal team asked to bring a case over decisions taken by the Home Office and the Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, REVEC, which falls under the remit of the department, in December 2021 and February 2022. The estranged Duke had wanted to maintain, when in Britain, the Royal and Specialist Protection Command, RASP, armed squad who protected him when he was a working royal, before the acrimonious fallout with his family. Lawyers for the Met, an interested party in the case, said REVEC had been reasonable in finding it is wrong for a policing body to place officers in harm's way upon payment of a fee by a private individual. The Duke's legal team argued REVEC's view, that allowing payment for protective security would be contrary to the public interest and undermine public confidence in the Met Police, could not be reconciled with rules which expressly permit charging for certain police services. Mr. Justice Chamberlain said, "In my judgment, the short answer to this point is that REVEC did not say that it would be contrary to the public interest to allow wealthy individuals to pay for any police services. It can be taken to have understood that S. 25(1) of the Police Act 1996, to which it referred, expressly envisages payment for some such services. Its reasoning was narrowly confined to the protective security services that fall within its remit. REVEC's reasoning was that there are policy reasons why those services should not be made available for payment, even though others are. I can detect nothing that is arguably irrational in that reasoning." The court was told at an earlier hearing that Harry's latest legal challenge was related to a previous claim he brought against the Home Office, after he was told he would no longer be given the same degree of protective security when visiting the UK. A full hearing in that challenge, which also focuses on REVEC's decision-making and for which Harry was given the go-ahead last summer, is yet to be held. Harry is also waiting for rulings over whether cases against Publishers Associated Newspapers Limited, ANL, and News Group Newspapers, NGN, can go ahead. Newspapers.
Together it's all about beyond every protest. For the freedom and the flame, for the ears I'll be all we there, oh the shadow, yeah. Whoa, I'll tell us all to be alright, yeah. Whoa, we there and the shadow, right, and the break, yeah. You and over water in your eyes. Thought I'd try a stormer in native freeway, riding out our destinies in the day. With the realize more we can't fear for the freedom shiver, soaring up there with the reading. I'm modified with the really stay. I'm modified with a rider but a saddle with the showers of kind. In the fire of the door, we know we'll live in your eyes. Together it's all about beyond every protest. For the freedom and the flame, for the ears I'll be all we there, oh the shadow, yeah. Whoa, I'll tell us all to be alright, yeah. Whoa, we there, the shadow, right, and the
Return money. Meghan as Robert Palmer Casey urged Sussex to repay $500 million on security lawsuits tax. Prince Harry, who was recently in a car chase, is now denied police security even after offering to pay for it. The Duke of Sussex faced rejection from the Home Office for a second time. Besides, people are still paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for Harry's lawsuit against the Interior Department, despite the fact that he claims he doesn't want